I want to talk about CT side Mirage since we talked about T side Mirage a little today. So I want to talk about what we should be doing on CT side Mirage because I feel like our CT side Mirage is pretty weak. Well, weaker than it should be. Now, remember when I was talking about T side Mirage and how taking mid control is really important and it is central to winning most rounds as T side. Well, a CT side Mirage, obviously it's going to be the same thing in reverse. You know that the terrorists are going to be trying to take mid. At least like a good terrorist team on Mirage is going to try and take mid a good number of rounds because of how easily they can do it. But there's ways that you can combat it, and you really have to fight for mid. That's basically the central idea in a CT setup for Mirage, is that you have to fight for mid. You can't just give them mid, because if you give them mid, they can go B, they can split B, or they can split. They can pretty much go anywhere. And it's too... You're giving them way too much map control for free if you're not fighting for mid. But the basic setup for Mirage is going to be 2B, 1 mid. The mid guy usually plays either in window or in connector, and 2 guys at A. I'm going to start with the A guys and what they're doing and work my way left. But you're going to have 2 guys playing A, and they can play a variety of positions, but you have to support each other. That's basically the most important thing you need to remember when you're playing CD side on any map, is that the 2 teammates here have to support each other and have to be in good positions to support. These guys especially have to be in good positions to support the terrorists or your teammates that are at mid, because these guys are going to be the ones who are going to be providing the flashes for mid when a teammate asks, hey, can you flash mid? So you have to be in a good position to do that while also working with each other in order to hold A like on its own right. It's usually a good idea to play some sort of crossfire, and a simple one that you can play is something like a guy that plays... You can get on this box. I have no idea. I don't remember how you get on this box, but you can get on this box. How do you get on this thing? I see people jump on this thing all the time. I just have no idea how they do it. Well, I don't know. But even more so, you can play like... One guy can play something like stairs, or like here even, or somewhere in the site, or back CD spawn. Like, you can play in a lot of different places. I wouldn't... Playing CD spawn is cool because if they smoke you out, then you can jump on this box, jump on toll booth to see over the smoke. But you just have to be weary of playing on positions that get smoked so frequently when people are hitting A, when terrorists are hitting A. So that's why playing on stairs is kind of like not recommended, just because this gets smoked a lot, and this gets smoked a lot, and this gets smoked a lot. So when you're playing in positions like this and you're trying to hold A, and all of this gets smoked, you're kind of like, I don't know what to do. Because you're basically forced to like either hide in a smoke or run through a smoke or something, or go all the way around. Like, if you don't want to go, if you're in jungle trying to hold A, and you want to go and get to a position that's not smoked, you have to go all the way around to CD spawn and jump on toll booth, especially since there's probably going to be smoke here too. So you want to find yourself in a position that's not going to be so frequently smoked. But a decent place, you can have a player playing here or even like under balk, and another guy playing CT spawn or tri-box or something. So you're hitting the... Like, if the guys are coming out ramp, then you're hitting them from 2 different angles, and you can support each other with flashes, because this guy can pop flash the guys coming out A, like this.
Deploying flashbang.
There's one way. And it's really good. It's a really good pop flash, because these guys are coming out... Like, the guys Tetris are probably going to see it, but it's a really good pop flash for when people... Like, this guy's spotting... Like, say this guy is spotting for A ramp, and when they're first coming out of A ramp, when they're just like around here, this pop flash will... They'll see like a really small number. Like when they're first like right here, they won't see it popping over like this. So when they're playing a really close angle like this, it's gonna get them, or their attention might not be pointed right there, so they'll be like trying to clear sight and stuff, and then it'll just come and get them. But that's one good pop flash. You can also throw a pop flash like this.
Flashbang.
I don't think you're supposed to run.
Throwing flashbang.
That's another good one. I don't think it went deep enough. Maybe you have to give it a little run throw.
Flashbang.
Maybe not. Maybe it's good enough to just throw it. It really depends on how deep they're out.
Deploying flashbang.
How deep the terrorists are out. Because like I said, if they're right here, it's not going to get them. But if they're already out A ramp, then it's going to be a very similar idea. But you can throw ones like those. You can also throw a flash right here.
Throwing flashbang.
Because it pops right there, so it's going to blind these guys, but you're not going to have to turn from it. So you can, like, I don't know. There's a lot of flashes you can throw, and like, it's good to mix it up just because eventually they're going to catch on to which ones you're throwing and you can change it up. I'm pretty sure you can also throw one through here.
Flashbang.
Yeah, that's also a pretty good one. So that's 4 different support flashes you can throw from here. So under balcony is a good place to play. The only problem with playing under balcony is that it gets Molotoved a lot, so you don't want to play in there too much, especially once they start Molotoving it. You kind of want to move just because you don't want to be standing in fire every round. So it's good to play it every once in a while, but as soon as they start Molotoving it, you should probably just move around. But you can also throw support flashes. You can throw similar support flashes from, like, if you're playing here, you can throw that
Deploying
same flash.
flashbang.
Or you could throw, like, just any general
Throwing
pop flash that
flashbang.
pops on the guys that are coming in. Like, it's not as good of a flash. I don't know, that one's not that great. Like, they're not as good as the flashes you can throw from under balcony, but you can manage. But you don't just want to be, like, supporting each other with flashes. You want to, like... you want to have this guy close enough to where he can kind of listen and spot for info from the ramp guy. If you want one guy to spot for info for ramp or palace, like, it depends on which one of these two you smoke, because you can smoke one or either, but you usually don't want to pre-smoke them both, and you definitely don't want to pre-smoke palace at the beginning of the round, just because it takes the terrorists a while. It takes terrorists longer to get out of palace than it does for them to get out of ramp. Like, say I'm rushing, I can get out and come out here faster than I can come out palace. Plus, palace is a tighter choke point, so people don't usually rush out palace. So if you want to stop a rush from, like, ramp, you can kind of... at the beginning of the round, somebody's going to pre-smoke it.
Throwing smoke.
You can pre-smoke like that. That's not the greatest one, though. You kind of want it to be deep into ramp. But someone's going to pre-smoke ramp, and someone else is going to be spotting palace. But...
smoke.
that's a better smoke, just because you want to be able to see. You want to be able to see if they get out to Tetris. Like, if there's a smoke right here, they can kind of get to Tetris for free. But you generally want to pre-smoke this, and then the other teammate's going to have his smoke, and you can kind of spot for info. And if you see them rushing out at you, you can throw, like, a Molotov to stop them, or grenade them, or throw flashes at them, or smoke them off. Like, it really depends. But generally speaking, the other guy at A is gonna, like, Palace is it's a place you have to watch, but it's much less it's far less occupied by terrorists as ramp is. Most of the time there's a max one guy coming out Palace, and it's usually an opper or a lurker, so you don't really have to have eyes on Palace the whole time. But it's usually a good idea to, at some point in the round, just kind of see if anyone's there and throw a Molotov, throw a grenade, throw a smoke or something just to get it. But you have to manage your nades really well at A. Because A is like, the terrorists will hit A a lot more often than they'll hit B, just because A has more entry points and it's a lot easier to hit. But I wouldn't recommend playing Sandwich too much, because obviously it's cool you can spot Palace like this, but you're kind of stuck here. Like, you're kind of just stuck, and you're gonna, like, you're hiding here, and then your other teammate is saying they're coming at ramp, you can't really swing at ramp because you're exposing yourself to everybody, and you're already exposed from palace. So like if they hit you two places at once, you're gonna get overrun. Like it's a decent place to lurk in maybe one round a half, but you don't want to do it too much. But if you do find yourself playing like sandwich, you can like pop that stuff out like this. I think you can do the same thing with a grenade.
Grenade out.
You can kind of grenade the guys that are coming out ramp if they're close on you. But like I said, I really wouldn't recommend playing there too often. But yeah, whatever CT setup you choose to play, like you can switch it up too. Like if you find that they're going heavy palace, you can have two people staring at palace, or you can pre-smoke palace somewhere within 10 to 15 seconds in the round. You don't want to do it too early because it's kind of going to be a waste of time on a smoke. But the big role of the A guys on Mirage is for them to flash for the teammates at mid. It's really easy. Like you just
Deploying flashbang.
It's not really a strict lineup. It's just something like that. But you're keeping the mid guys honest because they're gonna come out mid and they're gonna get to boxes, and then they're gonna start throwing smokes. Like they can smoke window, they can smoke cat, they can smoke connector, and they're gonna start coming out. And you want somebody. Like if window's not smoked, then it's gonna be this opper here. But if you find out that they're smoking window all the time, then you can play in connector instead. If your team's opera can usually, like the opera is either going to play in window or he's going to play in connector. We kind of already knew that. But connector is, I don't know. I like playing connector more than window. Like if you're in window, then you get smoked off. It's hard for you to maintain like mid control. Like once you're smoked off, it's like you either have to jump out the window or you have to go all the way around and go to connector. So I don't know. Me personally, I think it's cooler to play connector as an opera than it is to play window. Like obviously Window's the basic bitch place to play, but if you're getting smoked off all the time, they're taking a lot of mid control for free. But playing in the corner of connector is really powerful, and it's hard if not impossible to get a smoke that blocks you out completely. But the thing to be aware of is if the terrorists are throwing a top mid smoke, like this is kind of an addition to the window versus connector debate. But if they're throwing a top mid smoke like this, the window guy can't see anything. The connector guy, on the other hand, can see this. If he's playing deep in the corner, like if he sees a smoke, he can come and play deep in the corner. And still, if he has an op, here I'll throw the smoke again. But if he has an op,
laying down smoke.
can see like this much of the mid, but he'll have to give up cat. But usually one of the B guys was looking at cat anyway, so it's not the big. So he can still see. This is definitely enough to hit a shot. So I don't know. Connector is better to play. I like connector better. And sometimes, like if the terrorists don't know how to deal with this guy in connector, then they might just stop going mid altogether, and it's going to be a huge boost for your CT side. Because then if they're just committing to sites are like it's easier to hold sites as a CT side than it is to hold mid. So, but yeah, the only other way you could really go from window and look at mid some other way is if you did this. I can hardly even do it. It's really difficult if you do the jump from window onto the bricks. Like I can't even do it. I've tried to practice it a lot, but do the jump onto bricks, go to ladder him to cat. It's a long. Or you could jump out the window smoke, but that's just crazy. As an opera, that's just gonna get you killed. So yeah, the mid guy is either gonna want to play window or connector, more often connector, but he's gonna be playing like. There's gonna be a guy devoted to B who will be guaranteed watching apps. You generally want to pre-smoke apps.
Smoke.
And it generally wants to be. You generally want this to be the rotator guy. Like there's a guy that's devoted to B, and there's the rotator guy that's either helping B or he's helping cat, and he's gonna go up to cat a lot. Where'd my gun go? He's generally gonna like throw that smoke, and then he's gonna come to mid, and he's gonna listen. He's He's gonna cabinet cat, and he's gonna listen for the guys, for the terrorists rushing out in apps. And if he doesn't hear anything, then he's gonna kind of peek out mid a little bit. But generally, he's gonna like get close. Like he's gonna have his back turned to the wall, like early in the round. He's gonna ask for one of the A guys to flash for him, and they're gonna throw the flash, and he's gonna come out and just peek. He can flash for himself, but flashing for yourself always sucks because you have less time to peek than you do if you ask for your teammate to flash. But you can flash.
Throwing flashbang.
It's a pretty good flash. It pops like in that general area. You can make it go deeper.
Deploying flashbang.
Like that one's a lot better, just because that one's a lot better. It blinds pretty much everybody coming mid, but it sucks because he throws the flash,
Flashbang.
and then he has to like, but then he's not ready to peek. Like the flash pops, then he gets out mid. He gets out mid really late. Alternatively, he can throw a flash like this,
Flashbang.
but that flash just blinds way less people. And plus, again, he throws and then he has to, like this. The only cool part about this flash is that it pops behind him.
Throwing flashbang.
Throw then peek with it, but it's not as good of a flash if your teammate flashes mid for you. So, like, general guideline is this guy's gonna come in, he's gonna pre-smoke it, or if they rushing B on him a lot, he can pre-molotov it. One of the two.
Throwing smoke.
Like, it's easy smoke to do. And then you're gonna have this guy. He can like. The B guy can do a few different things. He can like jump spot it. Generally, if he's playing with an M4A1, he can like, or an M4A4, he can just spam the smoke a little bit, and then every once in a while, once the smoke fades, he can kind of jump spot it. And if he sees people in there, he can Molotov it, or he can smoke it again, or he can nade them, or he can flash them. Depends on how many people are there, but he can jump spot it. And he's pretty much like not risking anything by just taking a look there, so that's good. But that's going to happen. This guy's going to come. Generally, he's going to listen for the rush. If the rush isn't happening and he doesn't hear anybody underpass, he's going to come mid. Ask for his teammate to flash for him. Peek with it. See what's happening mid. If nobody's mid, then you know they're committing. If nobody's mid, like towards the beginning of the round, then they're either. Then you kind of know that they're committing to the site because if they're not throwing any smokes or flashes mid, like if they're trying to take mid dry, that's a really bad way to take mid. They're just going to die to the opper who's holding a connector or window. So. Yeah, so he's going to take this fight mid, and he's going to take this fight mid all the time, basically. Like, assuming they're not rushing B, or they're not rushing a site, then you have to fight for mid. You definitely have to, like, make it really difficult, make their lives difficult if they're trying to take mid control on Mirage. Like, one of the main reasons that this map is so CT-sided, or considered so CT-sided, is because all the choke points on this map are so tight. Like, for example, apps, a really tight choke point, one smoke, one Molotov covers everything. Same thing, Palace, tight choke point, can only like smoke, Molotov covers everything. Ramp, not a little bit less of a tight choke point, but not as tight of a choke point, but it's still really fucking tight. Like you have this much, like a smoke can cover all of this, a Molotov covers all of it. Like, all the entries for the terrorists who are just going straight from their spawn to a site are really tight. That's why they have to try and take mid a lot. Because mid gives them a little more flexibility and allows them to hit the site from two different angles. So as a CT, knowing that your site defenses, knowing that defending your bomb, defending the site directly is easier, you have to take this mid fight all the time. But that's generally all there is to it. Like I said, this guy's going to be either supporting mid if they're going mid, or he's going to support the B guy. Like if the B guy says, hey, they're coming, then he can throw, he'll have Molotov, he can molly all this, he can nade them, he can flash for them. But you should definitely throw shit back at them. Like if they're throwing shit at you, you have to throw shit back. Just to slow them down and make it so that you give your teammates time to rotate to you. What else is there? I think the mid guy can flash for A. I think he can just do that flash. mistaken. I think that flash works. Yeah, that should work. But yeah, the mid guys can flash A back if they're rushing out A, like if they're coming out ramp. He can throw a flash. He can throw a flash like that. It's usually going to be the cat guy that's doing this. Like this isn't always going to be our CT setup. Well, it's, for the most part, it's going to be our CT setup. Like it's pretty much stuck in there. But there's ways you can adapt to. Like, you always have to be adapting to what the terrorists are doing, and not just playing the same all the time. So if you're like if your teammates are losing at A a lot, you can try playing a guy solo B, and you can try playing a guy solo B and 3 guys at A. If you're losing B a lot, you can play 2 at B, or 2 duo to the B site, and then you have the 2 guys mid and 1 guy playing connector. That's also a valid strategy. I mean, the guy connector has an easy rotate. Like, there's another reason why I like playing connectors, because the guy connector has an easy rotate back. If they're not taking mid, he's an easy rotate back to A. So those are all like viable strategies, but it doesn't matter what setup you're playing for. You just always have to have good team communication. You always want to make sure that you're flashing for your teammates and you're asking for flashes. If so, you should always be in a position to support your teammates with nades. That's basically how to play CT side. But yeah, that's the basic gist of what our CT side is going to look like on Mirage. Just always make sure you're flashing for your teammates. The A guys always have
Throwing flashbang.
this flash ready. Same thing goes for mid guy. Always have that flash ready. And yeah, pretty much it. Manage your grenades well. Manage your grenades well, and you will generally be successful as a CT side on this map. But yeah, that's it.